Finally, we are getting some concrete lore, not specifically about Count Saint Germain, but in regards to the kind of power that he's abusing, as well as exactly what Count Saint Germain might be hoping to accomplish by stealing everyone's yokai powers and taking them for his own. Introduced as a collector who is apparently in search of the DanDaDan, whatever that may be, Count Saint Germain is playing this too calculated, in my opinion, for this to be some sort of hobby that he's just looking to steal a couple supernatural abilities here and there and then just go off to a brand new planet. And we can assume that whatever Count Saint Germain's goal actually is, it is going to directly involve his sword that we now have full confirmation on is the Sword of Asura, an ancient blade used in the earliest days of Japanese society, which was said to curse the wielder of the blade with a life full of non-stop killing, forcing the cursed wielder to kill for all of eternity, at least until their last breath is drawn. And to ensure that the swordsman would be able to kill all of the obstacles in their way, as well as any master swordsmen that stand before them, the Sword of Asura was able to take on the powers of different yokai to aid in the wielder in battle. While originally being sealed by an order of magic users due to its overwhelming power, about 5 years ago specifically, the Sword of Asura was stolen from its shrine. Meaning, this hunt for the DanDaDan started sometime around then, as Count Saint Germain's very first heist was the sword. Or, it's possible it was only one of the many objects that's been on his path to the DanDaDan since his journey started ages ago. Count Saint Germain is loosely based off of the mystery and concept of a real-life man known as Count of Saint Germain, an infamous English adventurer from the 1700s who rose to prominence among top figures of the age, such as Mozart, Casanova, Voltaire. He just knew and fraternized with everybody that was important. Very mysterious. What's even more mysterious is that Count Saint Germain was known for taking on multiple different identities depending on the land or people that he was visiting in, and would often just make impossible claims such as being over 500 years old. Now, whatever this Count Saint Germain is in the series of DanDaDan, whether he's immortal and has just been drifting through the universe as a collector, or he was a man cursed by Jesus himself to walk the earth forever until he locates the DanDaDan, what we do know for sure, at least now, is that those little daggers that have been used are just smaller portions of the Asura blade shaved off to be used by Germain and his lackeys to steal yokai and supernatural abilities, which at least gives us much more context as to what is going on. And unfortunately, despite the defeat of the Iron Bull and the poor soul that was being controlled by the yokai comes to, despite being blackmailed by Count Saint Germain, he, like everyone else, like Koki, like Unjizuma, cannot remember Germain's face or name. It's like every memory that is associated with him has just disappeared into thin air. But unlike our protagonist, thanks to Grandma Seiko and her allies' knowledge on the occult in general, Seiko can instantly recognize the Asura Blade's appearance in the little daggers by assuming that the Kokuza or the Kozaku or whatever the small daggers are called, are made from the Asura directly. It signals to Seiko and her allies that this new threat isn't some type of amateur, or it's not something to be taken lightly. One, showing how important Granny Seiko and her allies will be in this higher stakes story arc, as just based off of our protagonist's interaction with Koki and Queen, it's clear they aren't familiar enough with the supernatural to figure out complex plans of a man like Count Saint Germain, as opposed to Seiko, who, even though she doesn't know what's going on, was still able to immediately decipher what the artifact being used was. It further confirms that whatever Count Saint Germain is looking for in the DanDaDan, he's going to be willing to perform any act of evil to do so. Taking advantage of Kokiyuki Shuro and Ujizuma as traumatized young youths was one thing, but now Count Saint Germain taking advantage of adults down on their luck that are willing to do anything to save their dying loved ones, it shows that Germain is willing to drag in any necessary component for his plan, no matter how selfish or how depraved it comes across as. This is a man that is only thinking of his goal and doesn't care about anything else, except at least learning just random and obscure little facts and knowledge for some reason. I think it's a very interesting trait of Count Saint Germain, because it could be multiple different things. It could legitimately just be a weird personality trait where he likes to search out for weird facts or information. That's how he came to be this paranormal collector. Or just based off of the mystical historical legend he has and the kind of different yokai powers that he may need to live forever, depending on why that even is. Maybe learning everything is a part of like this ultimate plan to tackle DanDaDan with, or maybe his immortality has everything to do with some kind of yokai that in exchange for learning as many random facts as he can maintain and expand his lifespan. Or it could just be because he likes to intellectually destroy people in debates like he did with Okarun earlier in the arc. But seriously, either way, Count Saint Germain is a dick, because this poor guy's situation, it's not that it's, worse than the bullied or broken home children Germain was already blackmailing, but it shows that there's, again, nothing is untouchable. All 3 of Count Saint Germain's allies so far have been awful and sad sights. Is he doing this because he's purely evil? Maybe. Is he doing this because he actually thinks that by helping them out and helping them accomplish their goals, or helping them say, hey, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, Count Saint Germain thinks he's actually doing good and helping these people in some way? I mean, technically speaking, he offered this man's dying wife a way to survive. We've never exactly seen Count Saint Germain to act malicious. He seems much more ignorant and self-centered. But until we find out more about this character, we really can only assume and make guesses. Knowing his sword helps carve out what his plan might be and how long he's been at it and what kind of strategy he's overall working with. But because every single person that interacts with him forgets everything about him immediately, we essentially have no other choice but to continue moving on high alert and just wait for the next attack to come, because we don't have enough information to find out when that attack is coming. As based off of what the civilian tells us, there seems to be some kind of major text thread that goes out once Count Saint Germain interacts with and makes negotiations with someone. Very similar to like random hitman jobs or blackmail tasks, where some kind of unknown number sends out an order or mission anonymously, while the receiver has to perform the task no matter what, knowing that either their blackmailer is watching them and can reveal all of their secrets, or can just attack and kill them if they don't do the job right. You can see this on like Black Mirror and probably in real life somewhere, but it's very common in media and stories. And the man who previously was the Iron Bull reveals this is the case. He had no idea what this job was other than to attack Seiko, and the controller of the Jiangshi was actually a different person entirely, an ally of the Iron Bulls. But again, based off of the whole anonymity and Germain's memory shenanigans, these two people had no idea who each other were and did not know each other at all. The text threads are completely solo, singular, jobs sometimes overlap, but these people don't ask questions, they just act. So with the Jiangshi user running away and still on the loose, no way for the Iron Bull to contact him or Count Saint Germain, Seiko and her allies have hit a dead end, and basically until this next attack, all they can really do is just carry on. Seiko plans on making her move on the Uchide no Tachikaze hammer to try and heal Momo's miniature ailment, while Kashimoto and Payase declare that they'll be contacting every quote-unquote quarter about this event, which to me is just 110% confirming that there is a secret paranormal society that these adults are all part of, as per the Illuminati logo on Kashimoto's chest. And if you've watched any old videos of me yapping, you've seen me bring up this logo before. I've been very critical and very observant of it, especially the fact that Ludris and Count Saint Germain have both also sported this exact symbol. And what you guys in the comments have also pointed out to me that I didn't even notice is that compared to Kashimoto, Ludris and Germain's triangles are turned around upside down. Does this symbolize some kind of secret society turf war? The secret organizations of the earthly yokai users against the secret society of aliens? What side you're on is depicted by the direction of the triangle. Maybe it's more peaceful than that, and the earthlings and aliens share the society, but they just notate where they're from by the triangle's direction. It could go either way, and honestly, I'm sure we'll be finding out more about this soon enough. I'm also sure that based on Count Saint Germain being invited to some singles mixer, this is only just going to be a larger recruiting ground for Germain to find even more allies to send against us. So it tells me that if Germain is getting all the help that he can get, we as protagonists are going to have to do the same, which I think may be depicted with Officer Bega, the cop from Unjizuma's story, getting inadvertently pulled into the chaos as he investigates the cafe fight and suspects Seiko and her allies as they disappear on him. Officer Bega, from what we learned in the Cursed Trunk arc, always accomplishes his missions. So he may accidentally get involved in all of this paranormal nonsense just like he did last time, but I just hope and pray good guys like him, or even our new friends Payase and Kashimoto, stay safe while they're not in our sights and Count Saint Germain doesn't attack them, and the next fight we're in, someone just starts using their powers and we're like, ah, shit. Because I won't lie to you, besides the Space Globalist arc, this seems to be the highest stakes DanDaDan has ever reached. And we, right now, barely understand half the story that's being told, which, in my opinion, just makes me 10 times more excited to read it week over week. So guys, comment down below, let me know what you guys think about these developments. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe to make sure you don't miss any future DanDaDan reviews, videos, or any other series you might read weekly. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.